All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Main Event Wrestling Podcast, a part of the Press Play Podcast Network. And I am your host, Michael Jernigan, joined by my tag team partner, Mr. Jan Patterson. What's happening?
What's going on, Jern? It is a great day. Wrestling was incredible last night. I cannot wait to get into this. But as we talked about a couple weeks ago, I am now 3 weeks in the CrossFit. Today, my man.
Yeah, the CrossFit Chronicles.
Yes,
part
CrossFit Chronicles. Here we go.
Part 2.
We met at 5 o'clock this morning.
Yep.
Went on a mile run.
Okay.
In the rain.
Yeah.
We had to finish that mile in 12 minutes. I finished it in 7 minutes and 47 seconds. I feel good. Feel good about that.
Whoa. You didn't run no mile in 7 minutes.
Yes, I did.
Bull crap.
Yes, sir.
Bull.
Come in.
I got to see some proof. I want to see a legitimate stop clock. I don't believe it.
I will have my man Ben get in touch with you, our coach.
Tell Ben to give me a call.
Then we had 12 minutes where we had to get 100 burpees done.
Uh-huh. I know what a burpee is.
I didn't make it.
How many did you get?
75.
In 12 minutes?
Yeah.
I could probably do 112, 113.
My man beside of me, his name was Adam. Today was like his third day.
Mm-hmm.
Adam made it 25 and a puke bucket. Adam didn't do too well.
Well, listen, Adam, you got to start somewhere, my man. I'm proud of you. You did good, boy.
Then after that, we had a 1,000-meter row on the rowing machine.
How long did that take you?
That took me right at 13 minutes.
I don't even know how long 1,000 meters.
I was gassed,
like that
man. I was gassed.
My mind can't even compute that, like how long that is.
So, but I've only missed the Sundays. I've been 6 days a week for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
People ask me, do I feel any different? All I can tell you is this. The only thing that's not bothering me right now is my eyelids.
Yeah, okay. Well, that hadn't changed in the 2 weeks then. So
no, I am still
in good
sore.
Still in good shape.
It's crazy.
We'll be back next week for CrossFit Chronicles Part 3.
There will be a video here shortly in the next week.
I want to see this 7-minute mile video. I'll watch the whole 7 minutes if you post a 7-minute mile video.
Well,
you need one of these cameras like you wear on your chest.
Like a
something.
GoPro?
Yeah.
Well, all you would hear is, I mean, that's it.
I watch.
It's either a Hulk Hogan sex tape or me panting, one of the two.
I watch on A&E. They have a live police show where they show them stopping cars and arresting all that stuff. And every once in a while, you'll get a runner on there, somebody who'll jump out of the car and take off running. And all you hear, I don't know if it's the cameraman or if it's the microphone of the policeman, but that's all you hear. Stop! Well, I'm going to shoot.
That was me this morning, but I had no luxury of shooting anybody.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have a taser?
No, nothing.
You didn't have your taser. All right, so I'm glad you're still alive, my man.
For one more week anyways.
I'm glad you're still with us, and check back next week for Part 3, CrossFit Chronicles.
Yes, sir, baby. We're killing it. Chase Smith, we want you to join.
The icon, Jan Patterson. Let's get to some wrestling. We're going to talk a little bit about last night, and then we got something special, something new, something different we're going to do on the last half of the show. But before we get there, last night on NXT on USA, live on USA.
Live.
Couple big things happened. You had the return of one of our favorites, Charlotte Flair.
Woo!
Back at Full Sail University in the arena, Full Sail Arena at NXT.
Charlotte's body is a little bit better now than when she was in NXT years ago.
What do you think changed?
Man, she's had some doctored work, you know. Her cheekbones are a little bit more, you know.
About 3 or 4 sizes.
Yeah, something like that probably.
So Monday night, Rhea Ripley come out onto Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
And called Charlotte out, said, you want to face a champion? I'm right here. So Charlotte come out last night, got in the ring. Well, first it started with Bianca Belair in the ring. And I'm not a huge fan of Bianca, but I liked what she did last night. She was classic. She was funny. She come off as serious, but also a little comedy. Doing, I don't even know what to call it. I don't want to call it what's in my mind because it may make some people upset. But
it could.
Doing her EST thing,
I
guess, whatever you want to call it. And then Charlotte come out and told Bianca, said, Bianca, listen, this ain't got nothing to do with you. We're talking about women who have championships.
Champions are talking.
And then Rhea Ripley come out, and Charlotte kind of pushed Bianca to the background, and it was so good. Bianca's reaction, she kind of gave a couple hair flips, and it was really good stuff. So the long story short is
Charlotte takes another beat down.
Charlotte did not confirm her match with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, and she got a powerbomb or an inverted powerbomb for her efforts by Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair.
Here's my question.
Okay.
Let's say she goes back to NXT.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the rumor a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, you know, she wanted to catch her dad in world titles.
Oh, she's going to.
Right?
Yeah.
She's got 10. Well, are we going to count NXT as one of those major titles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know for us, NXT is the best out of the SmackDown and Raw.
Sure.
When it comes to, so are they going to count that as one of her titles? If she beats Rhea Ripley, is she now an 11-time champion?
All right, couple things at play here. Number one, she's going to have at least 16 championships by the time she's said and done. It's going to happen. She's already got 10. She's been on the main roster for what, 4 years?
Probably.
She's going to get there. Two. Recently, NXT has changed the name of that championship. Did you see this? They took out the gender. It is no longer the women's championship. It is just the NXT championship.
Okay.
So, with that being said, that may count towards one of her championships. Listen.
Now, is this like in competition with Tessa? Right? There's no gender.
Think about that.
There's no gender, right? So now can Roderick Strong say, I want a shot of Rhea Ripley and the winner of Charlotte Flair?
I did not think about that, but my God, you may be on to something. Of course, Tessa Blanchard is the TNA World Champion, the first ever woman to hold a World Championship. So you may well be right.
So is it? I mean, it could be. You know, they going to try it at this level before they bring it up to the Raw roster or SmackDown.
WWE has never done any of the intergender stuff. I used to watch
back in the Attitude Era.
Kind of. You had Chris Jericho and Chyna.
Chyna retired. Jeff Jarrett sent him to WCW.
Yeah, sent him packing. I used to watch Lucha Underground all the time, and they did intergender stuff every week. It was nothing to see a male and a female have a match. There's no big deal. I saw Pentagon break several female arms on Lucha Underground, so it was no big deal to them. WWE, that's not really their calling card. A lot of independents do that. So I would have a hard time believing that WWE is going to have like a Roderick Strong or any male, whatever, go after the former women's championship belt. So we'll see.
It's going to be interesting.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, because you look at it, let's say they took the gender off of it. So Charlotte can say, you know, she's been a Raw champion, women's champion. She's been a SmackDown women's champion. Now she's an NXT champion.
Maybe so. If here's what I think is going to happen. You got the TakeOver special coming up in 2 weeks in Portland.
Right.
You got Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea Ripley is going to retain her championship, and I would not be surprised to see Charlotte Flair in Portland on that night.
Be nice.
See, she will have some role being played in that match.
Right.
Now, skip ahead to WrestleMania. Who's winning? If that match takes place, Rhea Ripley against Charlotte, who's winning? Who should win, and who do you want? Who should win, and who you think's going to win?
I think and should would be Charlotte.
See, I disagree.
Right?
No.
All right. Why do you disagree?
I think Charlotte would win, but Rhea should win.
Why?
Because Rhea beat Charlotte. Charlotte ain't out nothing. She's still going to be the biggest name, maybe other than Becky on Monday nights. She ain't out nothing.
I mean, but you go back.
Her reputation carried her through one loss to Rhea Ripley.
And I think Rhea's will carry her through.
Yeah, but if Rhea beats Charlotte, like that's a feather in her cap.
That's huge.
She can go back to NXT and say, "Man, listen, I beat the best there is on Monday night."
Do we feel like Charlotte Flair is the best women's wrestler today?
I do. Yeah.
All right,
no question. Who's close?
I don't think there is a close.
I don't think so either.
I think Tessa is a second over Bayley and Becky Lynch.
Well, Becky, I'd be fine putting Becky and Tessa in the same level. I'm cool with that. Bayley's underneath. Sasha is underneath to me. A lot of people love Sasha. She's underneath to me. Whatever.
And what about Baszler?
I think Charlotte is heading. What's the word?
Head and toes.
Is it head and toes over the rest?
Yes.
Head and shoulders, fool. It's head and shoulders above the rest.
Head and shoulders is the shampoo.
I know, but the saying is it's head and shoulders above.
Either one, whatever.
Head and toes above every. No, it's head and shoulders.
We're all over.
Head and shoulders above the rest. Shayna's up there. She hadn't won anything on the main shows yet. NXT, she was a really good champion for almost 2 years. But yeah, I think Charlotte's top of the game.
I agree.
Top of the game, I say.
That's why I think she will, because I think it'll go to one of her title runs. It'll be number 11.
Well, now, do they count her previous NXT championship in those 10? I don't think so.
No, I don't think they have.
So I don't know if this one would or not. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I think we're going to see it because I think Charlotte's going to show up in Portland, and then that's going to lead to WrestleMania in April. At the very end of NXT last night, you had the return of one of your favorites.
Yes.
The Velveteen Dream made his return. He'd been out several months with a back injury. Let me just briefly say, Velveteen, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I've been out 10 years with a back injury. I feel you.
How did you hurt your back?
Playing basketball.
Yep.
I did a little fake spin one way and come back the other way and
dunked on somebody.
Out it went.
And oh man.
Yeah, out it went. I mopped the floor over here the other day, and by God, it's stiff today. Is all I'm saying.
Really.
So Velveteen Dream is back. He come back last night in the main event, which had Undisputed Era versus Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle, and Tommaso Ciampa, and then Dream come back to make the save for the good guys against the Undisputed Era.
Now, with all that being said, we're talking about the Dream coming back.
Yep.
What do you think about who's coming back tomorrow night? One of your favorites.
Oh, Goldberg.
Goldberg
will be back on SmackDown tomorrow night. I'm assuming they're setting something up for WrestleMania. I don't know.
They're setting it up for the Saudi show.
Okay, for the Saudi show.
They're setting it up. It's either going to be Dolph Ziggler or The Fiend.
Well, we saw Goldberg.
But wouldn't it be something if it was Matt Riddle?
It would be something. It's not going to be.
But wouldn't it be
I wish
something?
it would.
If Matt Riddle showed up on SmackDown right after Goldberg's entrance.
I would love it so much.
And just walk down to the ring and say, "What's up, bro?"
I would love it so much. We saw Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam last year. That was kind of a make good for Goldberg's disaster of a match with Undertaker at one of the Saudi shows last year.
We saw Dolph Ziggler and Goldberg at the Las Vegas restaurant about getting into it.
Yes, which led to their match at SummerSlam.
Love it.
So I don't really want to see that again. I think if Goldberg's going to wrestle, he's got to wrestle somebody like Dolph Ziggler, somebody that can give him a good match. Him and The Fiend wouldn't be no good. I don't think it'd be a good match.
He's got to wrestle somebody that's going to carry him.
Yeah. He's got to wrestle like Dolph, AJ Styles, somebody like that who can move around for him, who could take a good spear, something like that. So we'll see what happens. But listen, I love Goldberg. I love Matt Riddle, bro.
I'd love to see it.
I hope it happens.
Vince McMahon, make it happen.
Over on the other channel on AEW last night, we had Cody getting his 10 lashes from MJF. I saw that picture. Jam just showed me a picture from today of Cody's back. The 10 lashes was one of the stipulations that Cody had to do to be able to have a match with MJF at their upcoming Full Gear pay-per-view. So last night, Cody took 10 lashes with his own belt, mind you. And, boy, he took it like a champ.
What's my big man's name for MJF?
Warlord. Wardlaw.
The shot that he gave Cody.
He gave one.
With that belt.
Yep.
I screamed from my couch.
I enjoyed the whole thing. Much more than Cody did, probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Much more than Cody.
If you could have done one thing differently, what would you have done?
I don't know. I really like the fact that Cody was hurting. His family members, friends had to come out there. His wife come out there.
You're getting close.
Dustin come out there.
You're getting close.
Double A come out there.
You're getting close.
Tony Schiavone?
No.
Okay. But hang on a second. So I really like the kind of emotion that was into it.
Right.
But, man, would Cody not come off as a complete bad A if he just stood there and took all 10 of those?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Like if he just stood still and like gritted his teeth every single one.
Kind of like Denzel Washington in Glory.
I don't know.
Oh, God, great movie. Come on, man.
If he just stood there like a champ and just took all 10 of them, just to let MJF know, like, I'm coming for your tail.
See, to me, the storytelling was in between, right?
Yeah, I agree.
In between.
I agree, yeah.
What my man MJF should have done.
If he would have hit, what's her name?
No.
Oh.
On the 10th one,
Yeah.
he looks at Cody and says, turn around.
Oh, him in front?
Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
And went up and poked him on that dream tattoo and said, this is that lick for that sorry, no good, deadbeat dad that you had. And just wham, right there on that dream.
That would have been good.
That crowd would have went ballistic.
I agree. Listen, Cody, Young Bucks, Kenny, if you need ideas like this, call us up.
We got them.
We're in, bro.
We have got them.
Yeah, if he would have said something about Dusty and hit his chest where that tattoo's at, yeah, that'd been good.
Man, that crowd would have popped. And now here's the thing. They got their pay-per-view coming up.
Yep.
Mark it down. Arn Anderson
Flair
turns on Cody Rhodes.
Not yet. It's too early.
Flair's coming.
Okay, hang on.
Luke Harper's coming in March.
Double A, he's got to turn.
No, absolutely.
He's got to turn.
They've always turned on the Rhodes.
Yeah, but he can't do it this early. It's too early. He needs to hang with them for a couple of months, maybe 6 months to a year, and then turn. If he turns now, it's too early. He didn't have that big of an investment built in helping Cody.
Yeah, I see your point.
Once he helps him out a lot, builds up all the equity, and then turns, that makes it a bigger story than what it was. I'm all for him turning.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Flair's not coming in.
He's coming. Flair is coming. That was one of my New Year predictions.
I remember.
I stick by it. It's going to happen. And speaking of that, where has Shawn Spears and Tully been?
AEW Dark.
Is that where they are?
Had a match on Dark the other week, so they're still there.
I like my man Tully.
Flair's not coming.
Flair is coming.
Flair's not coming.
Luke Harper comes in March.
I think Luke Harper's coming. Flair's not coming.
They announced they're doing a show in his hometown. I saw it on the AEW thing today. He's coming out as Brody Lee. Mm-hmm. Is a name that I forget what city they're in. But, where was it? But that's supposed to be his debut night.
If I had to guess the city, I'd say somewhere in the country hills of West Virginia.
It'd be a good. I like that guess, but no, I don't think that was it.
All right, here's what we're going to do for the next about 20 minutes. In honor of WrestleMania season, we are in the push to WrestleMania. If you cannot tell, all the men and women on TV on Friday nights and Monday nights, they're pointing at the sign, which I think is the weirdest thing ever. The fact they just stand there and point at the sign. I get it. It's WrestleMania season. So what we're going to do today, and maybe a couple of times between now and WrestleMania, we're going to go back and watch a WrestleMania match right here live with you, our lovely and dear listeners. So if you want to watch along with us and hear what we have to say about this match, click on your WWE Network. Go down to the year of 1992.
Woo!
How old were you in 92, Patterson?
92. Let's see. I graduated 89, 18, 19, 20. 22.
22. All right. 92. I turned 11.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was a kid. We're going to WrestleMania 8. And we're going to watch the WWE Championship match, one half of the double main event from WrestleMania 8 with our favorite, the 16-time world champion Ric Flair.
The GOAT.
Versus the Macho Man Randy Savage. So if you want to watch along with us, pull it up on the WWE Network. Fast forward to 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 13 seconds. And we're going to push play here in a second, and we're going to watch this match together. Patterson, are you ready?
I'm always ready for a Flair match.
This is WrestleMania 8. 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 36 seconds. Press play in 3, 2, 1, play. All right, here we go. It should come up with a screen of Flair and Macho Man. A logo, what do you call them things?
I can't see
a
it.
Picture of logo.
The Fink, Howard Finkel, baby.
Flair and Macho Man here at WrestleMania 8. We are live. Well, 1992, it was live. From
Earl Hebner's your referee.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Hoosier Dome. And here you see Ric
I've been there.
Flair. You been there?
Yeah.
When'd you go there?
We went up there for a conference. and we decided to skip out on the conference, and we rode over to the Hoosier Dome.
How big is that joker?
It's huge.
It looks huge.
I mean, it's massive.
There he is. Look at him, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Perfect. I'd like to slap his face.
You don't like Mr. Perfect?
He turned on Flair.
He did turn on Flair. That's 5 years from now, though.
Other than that, I loved Mr. Perfect.
Of course, the story here is that Flair is hitting on Miss Elizabeth.
I love it.
The best line was, "I had her first," meaning that she was with Flair before she was with Macho Man.
The best part about this for me is before WrestleMania and all that, Flair comes over from WCW
Yep.
with the belt.
Yep.
And so proclaiming himself as the real world's champion.
You ever heard the story behind that?
Yeah, they owed him money.
$25,000. He, as the NWA champion, he had to put down a $25,000 deposit on that belt because he carried it from town to town.
Right.
He carried it on the plane. So if he lost it, that's his $25,000, right? So when he had no problem dropping the belt, when his time was up, he had his run in with Jim Herd in WCW. He was going to WWE. Herd called him and said, "Hey, listen, bring us the belt." He said, "I'll do it, but I need $25,000."
Yeah, you got to pay my money.
Herd said, "You ain't getting it." So Flair took the belt,
which was great.
Took it to New York, and you saw it on SummerSlam '91. Bobby Heenan was holding the belt.
Bobby Heenan sold that.
Oh, Bobby Heenan was great.
You know how they had it? They had the kind of dubbed out where you couldn't see it or fuzzed up.
Yes.
He said the real world champion is coming. They played it up great back then.
If you watch SummerSlam '91, they don't blur it out because there was no lawsuit. This is before the lawsuit from WCW, and you could clearly see the NWA Championship belt on SummerSlam 1991.
Macho Man.
There's a great match on the network. I forgot. It may be Hogan and Flair from Madison Square Garden in one of their house shows. And Flair comes out holding the belt up, and it's blurred out.
Right.
But you can see it where he moves it. The blur misses some parts of it, and he's not holding the NWA Championship belt because of the lawsuit. You know what belt he's holding?
No, which one?
The WWF Tag Team Championship belt.
Really?
Yep. He had a belt just so the people on TV make you think it's the NWA Championship belt. Can you imagine what the people in attendance had never seen Ric Flair before, and he comes out holding a tag team championship
Yeah, what is
belt
that?
by himself? They had to be so confused.
So here we start the match. Flair in classic red.
I love late 80s, early 90s Ric Flair.
Oh, it's so good.
Love it. I love Crazy Macho Man. Macho Man just coming off a feud with Jake the Snake Roberts where he got bit by the snake.
The Cobra.
I have a 5-year-old son, and we were talking about wrestling last night, and I showed him, I was talking about Jake the Snake, and he knows the Macho Man.
Uh-huh.
So I showed him, I said, Macho Man got bit by Jake the Snake's snake one time.
Yeah.
He said, "What?" And my wife was in the car doing this. She said, "Was it a real snake, like a real snake bite?" I said, "Oh, let me show you a video." So I showed them the video of Macho Man getting bit by the Cobra, and my wife said, "Yeah, that's a real snake. That's a real snake." She was impressed.
Here goes Flair, classic into the turnbuckles. I tell you, have you ever noticed when Flair takes a backdrop, he always lands on his hip or side?
Oh yeah.
Got that big knot in the middle of his back from the plane crash, I guess.
I love old school Ric Flair. I can't say it enough.
Oh, it's great.
He looks like a champ. He works like a champ.
I'm calling a poke to the eyes right here.
No. Flipped him over the top rope straight to the floor. That was big time in 1992.
Oh, yeah. Now, remember, back in the 80s and late 70s, that's disqualification. Getting thrown over the top rope.
In WCW in the early 90s, it was disqualification.
Yeah, you just lost. So this match right here, I mean, this was big time. This was one of Flair's, to me, one of his big matches in WWE.
Well, he won the 1992 Royal Rumble, which I still believe is the greatest Royal Rumble in the history of Royal Rumbles, although this year's was really good.
Yeah.
92 was the best one. The championship was on the line in 92. He come out in spot number 3, lasted over an hour, won the championship. Then he started this program here with Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. And so this is this is his first big title defenses as WWE champion, in which he and Macho Man here at WrestleMania 8.
Now, I don't, Flair was coming from a smaller stage, back then from what Hogan, Macho Man. That's when really Vince was turning it on.
Yep.
And so do you think that kind of hurt Flair getting over with the WWE crowd or WWF crowd back then?
I don't know. No, because, he come in, Royal Rumble 92 was, it wasn't his first match. SummerSlam 91, or Survivor Series 91 was his first match. But he come in 92, and Vince gave him the championship just like that, right off the top. So he come in, he's got name recognition up in New York and with WWE fans. But, his name's not as big as Hogan and maybe Macho Man at this time for WWE fans.
One of the best suplexes just held him up there.
He got a big name with me, though, is all I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that Joker. What about Mr. Perfect's jacket right there? You see it in the bottom right corner?
That's got a little Jericho and Double J to it.
That's got a Bobby Heenan to it. Bobby Heenan used to wear a jacket just like that.
So I miss Bobby Heenan. Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan was the greatest commentated team in wrestling history.
You know who's on commentary for this match?
Who is it?
Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Like I said, greatest ever.
This pay-per-view followed the 92 Royal Rumble, which is an amazing pay-per-view. I love this WrestleMania. As a kid, I remember going to Peggy's Video and renting it all the time.
Are you serious?
For $2.12 until she jacked up the prices to $2.65.
What was she thinking?
Come on, Peggy. I go rent this all the time. I think the 92 Royal Rumble, WrestleMania 8 is kind of like a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
It's so good. The commentary is spot on. If you've never watched those two pay-per-views and heard Bobby Heenan, just go back and listen to Bobby Heenan in both of those shows. And he just kind of stamped his name as one of the best characters in all of professional wrestling.
Oh, he was great. Flair coming up with the classic knee drop, spin, boop, and there it goes, baby.
Right on the forehead. Amazing Macho Man didn't get knocked out.
I'm surprised. He may have one of the hardest foreheads in the world.
He's like a Samoan.
That right there kills a normal man.
It was a junkyard dog. Remember, he always had a hard head.
Love the junkyard dog.
Did you?
Loved JYD.
He was okay.
Loved him, man.
He wasn't great, but he was okay. North Carolina's own.
Yes.
JYD.
So, here's the thing. With this match, I really wish we had more Miss Elizabeth.
Well, she'll be here in a couple minutes. And there'll also be a young person in here I'll point out to you and see if you know who it is.
Let's see what we got. Who is it?
It'll be here in a few minutes. Don't be looking it up.
I'm not.
I know how you work.
I'm sitting here just trying to relax from all that CrossFit this morning.
Take it easy,
I got to get you out there.
Listen, I just said I hurt my back mopping the floor. I don't know that CrossFit's in my...
Oh, it's in your game, man.
I got volleyball league coming up pretty soon.
Oh, Lord.
Got to get our volleyball game together. We may rename our team. We may do a wrestling theme name this year.
Suplex.
What's a good volleyball wrestling team name?
Oh, the Spike Dudleys.
Spike Dudleys. I like it.
There you go. What else could you come up with for that? Flair messing with the referee as always. Love it. It's sad. Here's what's sad about this, right? We're watching a match from 1992.
Yep.
Macho Man, God rest his soul, great shape. Flair's still in pretty good shape.
Well, he almost died twice.
But I'm saying then.
Oh, then,
yes.
Right?
Oh,
still yes.
Pretty good shape.
Yes.
And now we see our heroes. And if Flair takes his shirt off now, I'm very concerned.
Well, at least he's here to take his shirt off, I guess.
Yeah.
Macho Man died a few years ago. R.I.P. The great Mr. Perfect is no longer with us. Bobby Heenan's no longer with us.
Yep.
Gorilla Monsoon is no longer with us.
Earl Hebner.
He's here.
Flair.
That's it.
Miss Elizabeth no longer with us.
Right.
So, it's a sad world, man. It just happens.
You ain't lying.
But look at the WrestleMania banner and how much it has changed.
Oh, the ring skirt here is literally just a banner they tied to the ring.
Yeah.
That says WrestleMania. Now, obviously, you got the light board on
Yeah.
the bottom of the ring. You got whatever you call it thing. I have no idea. That flashes different pictures and goes with the logos of the wrestlers. Get him, Macho. I love a good Macho Man comeback. Flair trying
Knife
to hold
edge
him back.
chops.
Boom.
Here comes
Woo!
I'm going to say the toe drop coming from Flair.
Cut him off.
Oh, neck breaker. Nope. Yeah, it is. I thought he was going to do a little honky tonk man, shake, rattle, and roll
I love the honky tonk man too, boy.
right there. I know most of our listeners have no clue who we just talked about.
Look him up.
One of the great Intercontinental champions of all time.
Maybe the greatest.
Not going that far.
He says he's the greatest.
Not going that far. Greatest world champion of all time, of course,
Ric
is
Flair.
greatest Intercontinental.
Oh man, I have to think about that. I think Honky Tonk's up there.
Honky Tonk is up there.
Macho Man for me is up there.
Who else?
Um,
Come on.
I'm thinking. Oh man, Bret Hart would be up there. Mr. Perfect would be up there.
Uh-huh.
I may would say Mr. Perfect's the best. Maybe. Who you got?
The Miz.
Stop it.
The Miz.
Stop it.
The Miz, baby.
If the Miz's name ever get mentioned in the same sentence as Mr. Perfect, Macho Man, and Honky Tonk Man ever again, we're shutting this thing down.
Well, let's see here.
We're shutting
25 best Intercontinental champions of all
this party down.
time.
There you go, looking up stuff.
Well, we want our viewers to be educated.
Okay.
24.
Uh-huh.
Take a guess.
The Miz.
Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
23.
You see Macho Man just spit on Ric Flair.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
22. Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
21.
Can I just say, I never got Jeff Hardy. Like, he was a big star. Everybody loved that Joker. I never was a big fan.
I wasn't either. Flair has never hit a move off the top rope. Just to let you know.
He won his first championship with a move off the top rope. Starrcade 83 against Harley. Crossbody drop.
21. You ready?
Yeah.
Gold Dust.
Okay. He was a good one.
20. Jeff Jarrett.
Razor Ramon was a good one.
He's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
19.
Gotta
The
be.
Rock. 18. Edge.
Yeah.
17. Blast from the past right here. Greg the Hammer
Uh-huh.
Valentine. 16. Triple H.
Yep.
15. RVD.
I thought you were going to say R-Truth.
Did you see where they had to cut his videos off because of the
Yes.
threesomes?
Yes. So TNA, right here, look at this. You see this?
Cutting himself.
Flair cutting himself. There are two people in this whole pay-per-view that start bleeding. It would be in this match and in the Bret Hart Roddy Piper match. Bret Hart bleeds. One of the two got in trouble when they got backstage.
Was it Flair?
It was Flair.
So
Said Vince was pissed that he cut himself. Now, granted, you could see clearly when he did it. If you know what you're looking for, like
here's my favorite drop.
it was almost as clear as day when he did it.
Camera was right on top of it.
Yeah, that's the director's fault.
All right, let me see. Let me go. Oh, let's see. Top 5 Intercontinental Champions.
Okay,
According to WWE.com.
that's bull crap.
Number 5.
Yep.
Honky Tonk Man.
Number 5.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 4. Mr. Perfect.
Okay. I said both of those are up there.
Number 3. The Ultimate Warrior.
Stop it.
Number 2. Le Champion.
Okay.
Chris Jericho.
All right. Let me guess. Number 1.
Number 1. What you got?
You already said Triple H. I'm guessing Razor Ramon was in that middle of the pack that we skipped over.
Yep. He was number 6.
Jericho's 2.
Yep.
Stone Cold's already done him. The
Yep.
Rock, Triple H.
Yep. Number 1.
Who is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the man we are watching,
Okay.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Got it.
Greatest IC champion of all time.
4 of those 5 I said were up there, so give me credit.
I will give you lots of credit.
All right, we got Macho going up top, looking for the big elbow drop. Flair laying there a bloody mess. I love Macho Man elbows. Look at this. Boom.
Got him. 1, 2.
Look at Mr. Perfect.
I didn't see nothing.
Look at Mr. Perfect.
What are you talking about?
Look at Mr. Perfect. Just
What happened?
pull Macho Man off of Ric Flair.
I didn't see it.
Go into the ring. Look at Macho got some crazy eyes, boy.
Yeah, he does. It's probably why he couldn't make it in baseball.
There's a young lady here in town that plays basketball for one of our high school basketball teams. She got some crazy eyes. Looks like Macho here.
I love it.
Now, I don't know if you saw it, or right here it is. You see Mr. Perfect toss Flair the knucks.
Love it.
Brass knuckles taped up, and watch this shot right here by the real world's champion onto the Macho Man, Randy. Boom! Savage.
Right on the chin. Great shot.
Flair's going to pass it back. Look at how good this is, y'all.
Macho Man sold it. It was so good.
This is wonderful stuff.
Why can't we have matches like that today? And somehow Macho Man kicks out.
I don't know if you call that a kick out or a roll out. He just kind of rolled over.
Flair didn't hook the leg.
Look at Flair, boy. Blood coming down everywhere.
That's classic Flair right there.
A couple of months ago, there was a local high school wrestling deal here at our local high school. We knew some people that were putting it on. I tried to get us in the ring. I even told the guy in charge, I don't mind cutting myself.
Yeah. No, not at all.
I will cut myself. You can bring the ambulance in, take me out on a stretcher. I'll sell it. I'll make it look good. Look at this devil, this bad guy, Mr. Perfect, hitting Macho Man in the knee.
Could you actually cut yourself?
I don't know.
That's tough.
I've heard Stone Cold say the first time he ever did it, I can't remember who he was in a match with, but he couldn't do it. Whoever he was in the match with had to do it for him.
The first lady of wrestling.
Here comes Mrs. Macho Man, the lovely Miss Elizabeth. You see that guy on the left in the suit? Who is that?
Is that a young Shane McMahon?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Look at him.
That's pretty good right there.
Sir. Shane McMahon in a suit.
I like it.
Trying to get Miss Elizabeth back to the locker room while Flair takes apart Macho Man's leg.
That was pretty good right there.
Old school Shane. That's probably college Shane.
I didn't realize Stan Lee was part of it.
I don't know who Stan Lee is.
He's the old white-haired guy right there. It's not really Stan Lee, but he looks like the guy who created Marvel Comics.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, gosh, you're killing me.
I don't know anything about that stuff.
Killing me.
You live in a fake world of Iron Man and what was the other stuff you said you watched? Oh, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm watching Ric Flair and Macho Man. Leave me alone.
And it's all real. All real.
Look at Shane. You see a good little shot there of Shane?
Who else is out there? See if we recognize anybody else.
The other Hefner guy is right there, right in front of Elizabeth. Earl, that would be Dave Hefner, right there.
Yeah.
Looks like Weather Dave Aiken here in the triad.
I like it.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
Here you got Flair just working over in the figure
Getting
four.
Some leverage here.
Working over Macho Man's knee. Can I just say this is when wrestling was good?
It was at its best.
I don't want to be the guy to hate on wrestling these days, but
Miss
my
Elizabeth
God.
looking fine.
R.I.P. Miss Elizabeth. R.I.P.
One of your favorite champions killed her.
He didn't kill her.
He drove her to it.
He was with her.
The Lex Express.
We may need to watch a Lex Luger match next week. We can watch a WrestleMania Lex Luger match.
No, please don't. For the love of God. The only thing I'll say is it was impressive he slammed Yokozuna. That's all I can say.
Yeah, he did.
That is all I can say.
Yeah, he did. Look at Shane down there.
The great reversal here by Macho Man.
Watch Earl. Watch Earl.
Kick the hand. I like it.
Coming out of this match, Macho Man would be the champion going into SummerSlam 92, where he would wrestle the Ultimate Warrior. You ever seen that pay-per-view?
Yeah, I wasn't a Warrior fan.
I wouldn't either. You remember what the Warrior was wearing?
I
do. He went to wearing a singlet, like a wrestler singlet, and his was skin-colored.
Oh, my God.
So it looked like he was naked.
That's exactly what you don't want to see.
It looked like he was naked. So
why?
So Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior would go to a no contest because Flair would interfere in the match. Mr. Perfect would interfere in the match. and they would call the match off. Then Flair and Macho would have a rematch on one of those like WWE Superstar matches or whatever, where Flair would win the belt back for his second WWE title reign. Here we go. Here's the finish, boys. Here it comes. Watch. Look at the good guy come away with the win here. Block. Watch this. 1, 2, and 3. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, you got a new WWF World Heavyweight Champion.
Surprise finish.
The Macho Man, Randy Savage.
But nothing beats Miss Elizabeth. You can stare at Macho Man all you want, but I'm looking at Miss Elizabeth.
The purple looks good, don't it?
Don't it, though?
Lavender. That's lavender.
I don't care what it is.
That's lavender.
Look good on the floor.
We're going to watch for a couple more minutes here because there's a big kiss that happens.
Well, I hope it ain't perfect in Flair.
Well, you never know, I guess. Here it comes. Look at Flair. I love crazy-eyed Flair. He's telling Elizabeth, what about me? What about me? Maybe if you go do there it is. Boom, boom, boom.
Basically, this is the Rusev Lana
of 92.
Yeah.
Much better done. Flair or Macho just can't take it anymore. Just had his wife kissed by another man.
Let's talk about this, right? We're looking at this storyline. I brought up Lana and Bobby Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
You're married to Callie.
Yeah.
Could you do that storyline?
Depends on how big that contract was.
Jern, we're going to sign you for 1 year, $1 million. But your wife has to kiss, Payne Calder.
What?
Could you do the storyline?
Yeah. There ain't nothing attractive about that joker. I ain't worried about nothing. Now, listen, I'll say this about my lovely and gorgeous and talented wife. If she was signed up to make out with, like, Justin Timberlake, ain't happening.
Man, my man's got blood all over him. Would you be a little worried there?
I'd be a lot worried. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the World Championship match from WrestleMania 8. Macho Man Randy Savage is your new champion. A great WrestleMania match. Look at Macho, still wanting to fight, bro. He can barely walk.
Love it.
Still wanting to fight. Flair bleeding. Got blood in that blonde hair. God, it looks good.
That's why he's the greatest of all time.
Macho slapping Shane around down there.
Stan Lee laying on the floor.
All right. To me, that is a excellent WrestleMania match that doesn't get talked about a lot. When people talk about great WrestleMania matches, they talk about Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Ugh.
They talk about Bret Hart and Owen Hart from WrestleMania 10.
Ugh.
More recently, hadn't been a lot of good ones.
No, it really hasn't.
There's been some I'm just not
really
thinking
hasn't.
of.
The last big, to me, WrestleMania thing was the streak being broken.
WrestleMania
and that's
30?
That's been how many years
6
ago?
years?
I mean, really, what's the big thing out of WrestleMania?
Yeah, but that wasn't a great match. That was a terrible match.
No, it wasn't.
Undertaker
was
was concussed.
It was something that was, it made a moment.
Well, listen, you had the first women's main event this past year. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we'll end it on that.
Yeah.
Before we get the women's rights people mad at Patterson over here. All right. Join us.
Bring back the divas. Bring back.
No, we don't need no divas.
We need some Jello matches.
No, stop it. The
panties.
women's wrestling is in good shape.
It is. You ain't lying, Jack.
We'll be back.
It is a great looking shape.
We'll be back next Thursday afternoon. We'll cover what happened that past week in wrestling, and we may have another WrestleMania match to go through. Look us up on Twitter at Main Event Pod. Find us on PressPlayPodcast.com to keep up with all of the family of shows at PressPlayPodcast.com. I'm Michael Jernigan.
Jam.
See you next week.
Peace.